Episode 224 of the Love in Lebanon podcast takes a closer look at a couple who are honoring a significant piece of our city's culinary history while adding some of their own flavor to the mix. Daryl and Wilson Mendoza join us for this episode. The Mendozas recently reopened the Cubbard downtown, keeping the menu pretty much the same while honoring Wilson's Honduran roots as well. Hear about this couple's journey and their ideas for the future. Episode 224 of the Love in Lebanon podcast starts now.
Welcome to the Love in Lebanon podcast, highlighting all the great things happening in Lebanon, Indiana. Have an idea for an episode? Send an email to loveinlebanon@lebanon.in.gov.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 224 of the Love in Lebanon podcast. Joe LePage here, the City of Lebanon Communications and Community Development Director. The topic of today's podcast, one of my favorite topics of all time, that would be food. We have Daryl and Wilson Mendoza from the Cubbard restaurant, also Hungree's food truck, here on episode 224. Guys, thanks so much for being here on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it. Truth be told, everybody, and we're always honest with you, we got together, Daryl and I reached out to her on Facebook, and we kind of went back and forth, and she said, come on by the restaurant, we'll sit and chat. And so I took that to mean maybe we could record at the restaurant. It was about lunchtime or so, brunch time. So I bring all the gear just in case. You guys were so busy with customers and people wanting to chat with you. Was that kind of what we saw in a daily life? Daryl, you sat down for 5 minutes. Wilson came over and got pulled away. Daryl, is that what like Monday through Friday at that time is like for you guys?
We have been very busy. It's a blessing. It has also really tested us. It has been a time to really sit back and go, wow, what kind of community support we have. Family, friends. I remember when you were in, we were chatting, a friend came in all the way from Mendoza and had like surprised us with gear. He had not screen printed, what is that called? Like
he etched it on some tumblers.
Like laser
really cool.
printed tumblers for us with both Hungrees and the Cubbard. And so you just, sometimes you feel stretched a bit in those busy moments because there might be someone at the table that you know really well. There might be your regular who expects you to just be there for them as well because like they've been your customer for longer than we've even had the place, right? And then maybe you have that new customer that you're wanting to meet and get to know. At the same time, you have our cook in the back, just a diner experience like, order up, order ready. Don't use that pink pen. You know.
And you said it at the time. You know, make sure Wilson eats because there are days seriously where you are running and going and doing all these things where it's like,
yes.
Oh geez, I forgot to have food today at the restaurant.
Yeah, like Saturday, like we was nonstop. Like we sat with the server like around 2:30, and I say, hey, let's sit and take 15 minutes break and eat our breakfast and lunch like
at the same time at 2:30.
Yeah. Mind you, we closed at 1 on Saturdays. Yeah. So I was getting a phone call behind the scenes because we had the food truck out in Montgomery County, and he was going to come up and visit and then see what he could do to help. And he said, oh, everything's good, but we're sitting down to eat food. I was like, permitted. We'll see you when we see you. I've got food here if I need it.
Yeah, it was like around 1:10, and a couple was walking in, and
you can't turn them away.
And I say, hey, have a seat. Yeah. I will take your order in a minute. And yeah, and I want just people feel welcome at the restaurant.
Yeah, there have been a couple times where we were closed, but maybe we're counting down the drawer, and someone has stopped by. I heard about your chicken salad, and my husband he told me to come get it, and then another lady was like, "I'm just out and about. Can I have a drink?" And it's like, of course, like we're not going to fire up the fryer because then we might be without a cook. But if there's something we can do and we're there, like I think that's one of the coolest parts about being in a business within a business. And they essentially bring our customers to us as well.
Let's talk about the business within the business. And you guys are operating the food truck, and that things are going well. You guys are busy serving great food. And what happened that brought the Cubbard kind of onto your screen, onto your front burner, pun intended, to be able to kind of see and maybe think about something for you to have as another venture. Yeah. What was that like?
If you go back to like young 20s, I was working in the kitchen to get through college. I had grown up working at a small dairy bar, the rural community down 231 and 36. Mom's rule was if you're not playing sports, you're working. And then there's Wilson, who was in Honduras. And on occasion, he would be invited to the United States by family. Hey, come up here and cook for us. Because he's just had a lot of experience with a caterer that was neighbor next door. So that's where our interest began. I'm the type that likes to throw things together. Give me 3 ingredients, I'll make you something. Wilson's very strategic, chef-minded, a bit of a perfectionist, and
in a good way.
Yes. I've got the fast-paced restaurant experience. He's got the make sure things are done well and executed really well, including like just supervision. I've always known that about him and seen that in him. You get a different side of him when he's a supervisor, because he wants like perfection. And it's not that it's a stressful thing. It's just like a raise the bar higher expectation. So that's where it really started for us younger. Then fast forward, we met in 2015, and we would take Sunday dates. And there was a small little restaurant down the road where we lived in Indianapolis, and we would talk about, it would be so cool to have a restaurant one day. And I was always like, yeah, and we'll have a little daycare in there as well for the employees' kids, and we'll just make it like a whole little thing. And then our kids can come and go. So if you want to, I don't know if you want to share about the food truck though.
How did the whole thing happen with getting involved in the food truck and maybe your love of food from living in Honduras at a young age and being able to be that kind of perfectionist, that cook, that guy that loves it?
So for the food truck, we wanted the food truck since 2017.
We had a book of dreaming, like a notebook where we dreamed.
Yeah, and like she made for my birthday, I believe, I think, where she make a book, like she say, this book, it will be like for a future, like just make a menu, like
just kind of like a planning, dreaming book. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just sat around. Not that it wasn't used, but it did just kind of sit around from time to time.
Yeah.
So when we,
so we was looking for a food truck, but it was not the moment. And then COVID came.
Oh, great! Yeah.
And then, real quick, before COVID, we were offered an opportunity to get a restaurant in Linden, Indiana, and we were so excited. And we were like, only could we do this on contract? And they were like, absolutely no way. And then they came back and they offered it to us on contract, and then we had to go, no, I don't think it's gonna. It just like we've kind of froze. That's where we were in our adulthood. We froze, and I think it's okay to like admit that maybe like we were just really full of fear. Because it was a huge jump. At the time, we were still in Hamilton County. And although my family's in Montgomery County, we could have been highly supported. But just what we were doing in life, like he was pretty set on his job, and I was doing my thing. And it was like, well, who carries the insurance? And how does that leap look? And just like the typical, hey, we're in our 20s and we're terrified moment. But then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, we were like, hindsight's 2020. Thank God we did not get that restaurant. Yeah. Because sustaining a restaurant in 2020, hats off to everybody who's done it, because, wow. I mean, I worked healthcare, so I saw kind of like the brunt of a lot of it. And I just, I talk about fear. I don't know how people made it through it. Yeah. But we're all here. Not all of us, but.
Yeah. But things played out the way that they should have. You guys are here. Now, it was a funny story that you shared when I foolishly thought that we were going to record at the restaurant with tons of people around and you guys running around. Like, yeah. But how did you guys settle on Lebanon? What about Lebanon? And I know the answer to this already. You kind of, organically had this conversation and a call that maybe Wilson made about this community he was driving through and thought it was really cool.
I was working in town that day. We was looking for a house. We was living in
Hamilton County. Prices had started to go up, and we were like, as first-time home buyers, this is probably not our county.
And then I called Daryl and I say, hey, I'm working in this town, but I don't know the name of the town.
but I two pit bulls tried to come after me.
But I love this place. I love this place, and it's super quiet. Like it's. I was just wanted to get out of the city.
Yeah, like, you kind of knew where he was leading without kind of.
Because he said west and towards Crawfordsville, and I went, oh my God, not Lebanon. Because to be honest, like I had a really good friend in college who was from Lebanon, and I got to hear some of the stories that every community has, and that's unfortunately the addiction world. And I went to Hamilton County to open a recovery center, and realizing that one of the richest per capita counties had the heroin opiate overdoses, and the opiate overdoses were so high. I went, Daryl, stop. Plus, you're from Montgomery County, like that's normal, right? So to say like that I didn't want to live in a community because of somebody's stories, that was so silly. But it's honest, and it's a laughing point of our journey, because as soon as we decided to search for Lebanon, it was like everything unrolled, and it only makes sense because his family's in Marion County, mine's in Montgomery, and up until the restaurant, he was working out of Hamilton up in Cicero. Mm-hmm. So everything was like 35 minutes to 40 minutes away. Mm-hmm. So we were here and like knew nobody. Then COVID came, and when COVID came, everybody was kind of forced out to get to know their neighbor. Yeah. And then we like slowly just became part of not slowly, it kind of happened rapidly at that point, became part of the community. So I was working at the school, like fast forward, I get into the schools, I'm working at Harney, and I get the opportunity to just continue to build community. And then with that, Wilson was able to be like, he began to be like a little bit more known, being Hispanic, and also being so tall. He often shocks people.
You stand out.
Like, who are you? Where are you from? Exactly. And are you Hispanic? Because I don't know if I can lead with the hola. So,
Oh, when they asked my name, I said, but that's your real name?
Yeah. So we were,
name.
we still had the heart of like building community. And I was meeting over at Clues with a friend, and she said, her and her like organization, nonprofit leader, Girls Night In, they said, oh, hey, our daughter and her son-in-law are thinking about getting rid of their food truck. Mm-hmm. And I was like, tuning in. So I asked, I said, well, if they ever do really think about it, let us know. And it was not even a week later. This was 2020.
I think it was like 1 or 2 days after you have the conversation with her, like
everything just unrolled with the food truck. And we at that point in time, part of our faith is like we just got to praying and being authentic with each other. Like, this is what we think we need. This is what we think we don't need. Talking to family members, other people that maybe weren't in the food industry, but like business-minded people, and everybody had an opinion, and it got really stressful for a minute, even between us. Like, what are we going to do? Mm-hmm. And we decided that the American people and the Honduran people, because there's a lot more Hispanic Honduran population probably than what people would expect, but obviously you get more of that down in Indy, but like they're coming this way, and we know that, and so like we've seen this community change. Also going to Montgomery County, all the factories, you've seen a lot of Hispanic people there for years. I grew up over there. Like, we want to get their attention just as much as we want to get the Americans' attention. Mm-hmm. But there's this funny thing, like grandma can make it better, auntie can make it better, until they have Wilson's Hispanic, like Central American food. And then they like ask us to cater parties or like do a little pitch-in, or can you guys host a birthday? Like, our house used to be packed. So fast forward, where am I going with this? So fast forward with like the vision for the food truck would be, let's do something familiar enough to the American, but different enough that we stand out. and let's do something probably not so favorable to the Hispanic population. Not because we didn't want them with us or on board with us, but because like we don't have a fryer on our trailer. We needed something a little more fast paced. Their food and their lifestyle tends to be a bit more slowed down, relaxed. There's not really time.
The value meal kind of lifestyle is not there.
Yeah,
Give me a
it's
burger
not.
and I want it right now. Yeah.
And so we knew that just having the welcoming heart and being able to speak Spanish, if someone did walk up to our trailer, we'd have them in a second. You know, I joke and I say the gimmick was American food with a Honduran twist, because we really wanted people to trust us that we could provide really good food consistently. And then fast forward, yeah, it's always a dream that like we'd have a bigger trailer and fryers. And let me tell you, the fryers are so hot and the trailer's so hot. So our dreams may have changed.
That vision book looks a little bit different.
So the food truck has led us to the trust in the community. People trust, and we're consistent, and we're caring, and we want to connect. Then we get offered the restaurant, which was really out of the blue, but we have been customers with Miss Mary's, so 2 owners ago. She calls Bubby and Sissy, and sometimes I like wonder, and I think like, man, if she could only see us now, you know, like, are we doing a good job by her standards, by her means? Because that was the lady who brought us to the restaurant, and it was truly out of a welcoming spirit. The tenderloins, yes, but
'cause they're
out of a welcoming spirit.
Hey everybody, we're talking with Daryl and Wilson Mendoza here on episode 224 of the Love and Lebanon podcast. They operate the Cubbard restaurant. They have Hungree's, their food truck. You probably had some of their food, whether at a ball game or at kind of inside Cowan's Drugs as well, downtown. Kind of talking about this whole journey. And guys, it's just kind of like the weaving of a tapestry, how this whole thing happened, and kind of just, it wasn't a point A to point B, a straight line, that this kind of weaved around a little bit. Wilson, how important was it for you guys as a couple to kind of weave in and keep the Honduran kind of flavor with things? So you didn't go straight burger fries. You have things even on the Cubbard menu, seeing you keep Honduran like an option there, and there may be aspirations to do more of that. How important was it for you guys to kind of, as Daryl was saying, kind of cater to more than one audience? Important for you and the culture you grew up in and your love for food?
Okay, we wanted to just bring the flavor from Honduras. Like, I know here in America, we are like simple, like salt and pepper. And
garlic powder, onion powder.
Yes,
more so Indiana.
But like, for me, like I told Daryl, I say I want to bring this flavor to Americans. Like the community knows the Honduran flavor, because people just because I am Hispanic, they will think, they're gonna bring tacos, or like they're gonna bring
tamales.
But
we will.
And but like no, there's different flavors to Mexican food, and we use more like fresh ingredients
than Americans tend to have the lifestyle to do.
Like fresh garlic, fresh cumin, you know.
If you need to peel garlic or have any desire, sign up with Wilson.
Always hiring for garlic peeler.
I retired. I told him we were no longer peeling garlic. It can be fresh, but it's going to be in a jar.
So yeah, and so we talked with her, and I said, like, okay, let's do this. I remember we were like this talking about what we was gonna serve in the food truck, in the food trailer, and then we decided to come with the nachos, loaded nachos, and the sandwich, like pulled pork and pulled roast beef and.
Yes, and I just because I get excited, and that's like my spot at the window. We're known for large portion or huge portions, lots of flavor, slow cooked beef, slow cooked pork, all on a bed of fresh ingredients. We don't make the chips or the bread. Our sandwiches are like a 9-inch sandwich that's a mix between a Philly cheesesteak and a Cuban. Like, I just try to paint a picture for people, but it's still familiar. You know what a big sandwich is or what it's supposed to be. You know what fresh nachos are supposed to be like. So, yeah.
But yeah, when they see like the nachos, like, oh, I didn't expect this. Like, because we put all the fresh toppings, like fresh pico, fresh guacamole, pico onions, like chico flavor onions.
I call them, because American people, they're pickled and I'm like, yeah, like vinegared. And they're like,
but when they try
like dill, and I'm like, not dill. No. We love dill, but not dill.
And and so yeah, when they see our food and when they try the food, is like, oh my God. Like, I have a lot of people, like, they come back and they say, hey, this nachos are so good. Like, we have people, they drive from Crawfordsville when we have event in here.
Oh yeah, we had a friend like drive over to Lebanon High School, and she's like, I don't think I can get in because I don't want to pay for the basketball game. But
just giving the nachos through the gate.
The athletic director let her in just to grab her nachos, and she hopped out. I will tell you, it almost sounds like we're just proud and like that we're full of it. You know, like we're maybe full of our success. We're just as surprised as the next person that this has happened to us and for us. Because like going back to COVID, the first time we had COVID, we pulled our like little extra TV into our bedroom, and I remember like sitting there having COVID and like finding the food truck race show and like watching super old episodes, and we just learned a lot from that show, honestly. And one of the things that it talked about was just like having your staple items, things that are different that nobody else can do. For example, one of the coolest things happened on Crawfordsville on Saturday. Wilson had made it over there, and a gentleman, he comes up, he's like, my dad's family's from Guadalajara, Mexico, but I have never had pico like this. Your pico is awesome. Like, it still amazes me and still makes me excited to think that like we are bringing excitement to people through food. Like, I remember as a kid thinking, man, just being able to put a smile on somebody's face meant the world to me, and I wanted to make a full-time job of it. And although I can make the pico, like, you're gonna get the best pico from Wilson, and to know the hour that it takes him to prepare that big pan of pico, like, and the time and the concentration, like, he's so particular about making sure that things are cut just the same, and that he's not measuring the flavor that he puts in it, and he doesn't even like taste it when he's done. Like I learned, like,
it's money.
I learned in the kitchen that you take a bite away from the stove to make sure before you give it to anybody. He doesn't have to do that. Like, to me, that's exciting and cool and like fun. And I am proud, and I might sound full of us, but we really wouldn't be here if the communities, both Boone and Montgomery, didn't embrace us. The joke is that I'm married out of the country, not just out of the county, because I'm related to everybody in Montgomery County. But like here now, we have the home, like we have the support, we have the neighbors. Everybody from the square has been up to the Cubbard. I can tell you different business owners who have walked up and had the food truck. Neighbors, I can tell you there's been times when, you know, maybe someone's come up and they didn't have it, but we made sure that they got fed. Like, we never want to not be about community. And it grinds my gears a bit, our gears, but I'm just more vocal about it. When it becomes like competition. And a neighbor, he's a really good businessman, and he said, well, everything's a competition, really, and you should go into it with that. And I said, yes, but like, we have something so different, and Wilson has a favorite phrase, what's for us is for us. And like, we have a tenderloin, you've got a tenderloin. We probably eat your tenderloin every Tuesday. Okay, right? But like, we've got nachos, you've got nachos and you have them very wonderful, and that's what I'll sit in and order at your restaurant. What makes ours different is the difference in the heritage and the flavor and years of dreaming, maybe. But what the common ground is, like, we're serving the same people. It's up to the customer who they choose to go to. And community, like, we literally wouldn't be sitting here had community not reached out. Like, we literally would not have event after event after event on the food truck. We had the first year, within 6 months, I think we had 25 events. That was big for us. We were thinking, like, maybe we'll get 5, you know? Like, it was community. And as much as the community is given to us, we truly want to give back. So, like, this Saturday, our food truck becomes a food pantry for Serve Day down at the park. The booster clubs still reach out because when we can, we'll do like a 10% or 15% back to them with the food truck. There's a situation where a child has a diagnosis and parents are going to be on the road a lot for healthcare reasons. We're in the planning of doing something at the restaurant, a dying to donate kind of thing. Like, we, as proud as we are of ourselves, we know, like, without the community support, we wouldn't be here. Like, without God, we would not be here because it's not been quite our journey. Like you said, A to B. We would have already done this a long time ago. We couldn't even get in to talk to a lender, not because we didn't have the abilities. No one wanted to give, at one time during our journey, no one even wanted to give business loans to folks who wanted to do food industry without super formal experience background. Or without 30% down. I mean, we're like in our 20s floundering.
Well, let's talk about community a little bit. So you guys develop a relationship with 2 owners ago, Miss Mary at the Cubbard, and she approaches you guys. And before we hit record here, everybody, you were telling me, Daryl, that you guys had the option to do anything there. It was kind of a choose your own adventure when it came to having food at this restaurant that is located within Cowens. The name could possibly even change, all those things. What about that community? Because a low-hanging fruit would be, well, you make phenomenal pico and your detail. I mean, it seems like we should be doing that type of food, but you guys didn't, and there was a specific and strategic reason for that. Wilson, why did you guys maybe stay away from that and stay with the fare that the Cubbard had served for many years ago? Even the logo you guys just put out there is kind of a hearkening back to the history of what the Cubbard has been for decades.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the name of the restaurant in honor of the Cowens. Yeah, so we didn't want to change the name because it has been a tradition for 50-something years, 57, 56 years.
Scott Pellet and I worked together over this past school year, and I told him, I said, we're going back and forth. Do we call it Max's? Do we call it the Cubbard? Because we wanted to carry tradition. And I said, or we could change it. And he literally said to me, and it was like confirmed everything that we thought, the Cubbard's never had a bad name. Why change it? Whether it's been Max's Cubbard or the Cubbard, it has never had a bad name. And from what we know, it hasn't either. And like, how cool, 56 years of rich history do we get to be a part of? Like, how cool.
Yeah, because when we was signing the papers with John, he said, if you want, you can change the name, you can change it, you can do whatever you want.
Menu stuff, you can kind of give you free reign, right? Yeah.
Right, and we were like, no, we are not doing that. Like, we want to keep the tradition, we want to keep the name, and
I think a really important.
I
think a really important part to the whole journey is embracing where we're at. We've had to embrace where we're at through all of it, and like, we are in Lebanon, we are invited to take care over that space, and we're just gonna embrace it where it's at. However, we want to surprise the community along the way. So there's a gentleman that comes into the restaurant, John, and he said, when are you going to have the big plates, like the big dinners? And I'm thinking, my God, it's hot. It's summer. Like, events have been a little bit slower because of the heat. And then if you don't have the heat, you have the unpredictable rain. So I thought, well, someone's asking for it. Let's try it. So on Fridays, we'd have a big dinner plate. We've had fried chicken. We surprised him. He actually really enjoyed it. We did a Honduran spaghetti. So it's truly like Americanized spaghetti, but with the Honduran twist. Then we did another big plate. We have chicken noodles coming up this Friday. But it's working. So we do want to listen to our customer as well. And we know that in the background, a lot of people were disappointed that the Cubbard was closing. And we knew we anticipated that there would be the conversation of not another Mexican restaurant.
So we have a few here in Lebanon.
Yeah. And we like them.
Yeah, they're great.
Well, we haven't been to the new one yet, but we do like our fair share of Mexican food. And Wilson can make tacos de birria, and he can throw down. We made a lot of Mexican tamales last year.
Yeah.
At Christmas time.
Yeah, we made like around 700 tamales last year for
we
Christmas.
We didn't even have to advertise it.
We didn't.
It was just like word of mouth. Crazy. We can do those things, and I say we because they don't use a lot of flour, so I really can't. I can do cornmeal stuff. I can make it work. But like, we wanted to also listen to the customer, and so we made sure to lead with we're carrying tradition, and I don't know.
We are carrying tradition,
From
but
both.
we want to we want to introduce like one or two dishes from Honduras, like
a week.
a week. Like yeah.
So we're not there yet.
Like I was like surprised how many people love the plantains. Like I was really surprised. And I asked people, "Do you like the plantains?" And they say, "I love them." Like so that make me happy.
Yeah. So you have the vacationers or the people that, like, I just went on a cruise and we had these in Costa Rica or Jamaica. Like, we can bring something new to the table, but at the same time, we feel a deep responsibility to carry tradition and to listen to customers. However, there will be some times where we're going to try to like bring out something from Wilson's heritage, and you can expect some ooey gooey, delicious Honduran food very soon. But as we get our bearings, it's like take it one step at a time. Everything's always been one step at a time. So the Honduran spaghetti was something new. Very soon there will be. I'm just going to leave people in the wings wondering.
Or you can break news here on the podcast. I mean, we have
very soon
millions
there
of
will
viewers,
be some fried goodness. There will also be some grilled goodness, and it's going to be things that you've had, because we know we have to start with familiar, and then once we have your trust on the familiar, then we can bring in maybe a little bit more unfamiliar. So if anybody likes empanadas, Wilson can throw down some empanadas.
We are planning to have that probably next week.
Yeah, that's one thing.
We serve the empanadas we serve like with pico, fresh pico. So that will be your chance for try the pico.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point. A lot of people say, "When's the food truck food coming to the restaurant?" When
really?
I actually, and this is like fun to me, but he was. Can I be a little ornery?
Dude, you can.
One guy said, he called up and he's like, "Do you have your sandwiches up there?" And I said, "No, we don't." I said, "But we'll work on getting a little bit of our food truck up here." And I was like, "We just have a big responsibility. Like, we're carrying tradition." And he goes, "To hell with tradition. Get your sandwich up there." So like, we had roast and potatoes last weekend. So the roast was very similar to the food truck beef. So anyway, I don't know. Like, we want people to know specials and what's coming. So every Sunday night, I try to get out the specials for the week. And I think we're shooting for Saturdays to be the Heritage Day. One, because a lot more families are out. And two, because some of that food is better carried out than sitting and dining. If you're in a hurry kind of thing. Like, because sitting and dining, it's already an experience because it's the Cubbard. But then it's the experience because you're trying the Honduran food, but like it's okay to pick up and carry out too. And that is very much the Honduran culture. Like they go to the grocery store every day because they have the small pulperias. They, if they're going to eat out, they're not going to go dine somewhere. They're going to carry it out or sit in the open air and eat it at like a local tiny restaurant. So it would not be a shock to us or disheartening to us. It'd actually be exciting if people are like, I want 4 orders of empanadas to go, and they take it back to their family. You know, well, of course we want you to have it fresh right off the fryer or the grill, but if not, like, it's fun to us to think like people are in their home eating our food. Like, cool.
It's so funny to me driving to work and seeing the number of people that I know from our community that are either standing outside the door waiting or they're looking at your sandwich board out there for the specials. You guys have kept regulars that have come to the Cubbard for years and years and years, and you have folks that come in just about every day, and you know their orders and know exactly the same thing they're going to get. How important is that for you guys? Where it's you're not only, you mentioned the tradition and wanting to be able to kind of build that community and be part of it. How important is that for you guys to be able to have those repeat customers and you know them by name and I know what fill in the blank is going to order before he or she says it. I'm already bringing them their drinks. I know what's coming. How important is that for you, Wilson, to have that as part of kind of what you're doing with the restaurant now?
We love the have been like support. Like they come like almost every day.
There are some people that come
like
every day. If they're not there, we wonder
what happened
if they're okay.
And so Daryl is the one that she has been doing like amazing customer service.
Yeah, you guys have a great like dynamic back of house, front of house.
Yeah, because I am more like running like back in the house,
back of house for now.
House and
for now.
Front, for now until she go back to school. Yeah. And but she say you have to come this day here in the front because you need to know these people. And
I want him to learn their names too.
Yeah, for me, I think it's gonna be hard to learn all the names. But I'm working on it.
Yeah, no one has. I would say that for the very most part, the people that have kept returning have just embraced us and like treated us like family. We're not perfect. Like, I'll never forget the third day. A lady sits down. I remember what table she was at, table 10 or 9. I think it was 10. And she looks up at us up behind the bar. I look at her and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. What can I get for you?" And she wanted a cherry Coke. And I cannot recall exactly what it was, but I think I was running hot food and I was coming back to get her cherry Coke and I looked up and she was gone. Like, that's had an impact on me, right? Like, I remember. I think for the very most part, what's bringing people back is customer service because we're trying to treat people the way they've treated us, truly. And it's been welcoming. So I do say get Wilson up in the front of the house because I will go back to school. We have some new servers and they're learning our ways, and our ways are always like there's more room at the table and you get comfortable wherever you're at, and we can extend the table, make it bigger. You can, if you're one person and you want a booth and they're open, sit there. I don't care. We like booths too. Yeah. I think truly, those regulars carry us, and I never want them to feel like they don't still belong, because we do want to bring in new people. We do. We want to bring in some of the younger crowd. I would say that we're very fortunate that we have the regulars we have. And the fun part, they don't really stick to the things they want or like the menu. They kind of mix it up on occasion. You have the lady who our cook knows once. Well, we were able to bring the cook also from the Cubbard previously, so that was awesome. I had a shout out to T. But she knows this lady likes her biscuits and gravy extra hot, like the temperature, so she like nooks it for it. And the lady asks, if you don't bring it out like that, she asks for it. Like, that's what she wants, extra hot. or the lady who comes in and she wants the decaf coffee every morning, or the one like the couple who are the onion ring couple. I can't tell you their name.
Ring couple.
Yeah, but they always get the onion rings, hand battered onion rings. And so you have those people, and we want those people to always feel like they belong. But at the same time, like the regulars carry us, we also want to start introducing more and more people to our environment. It's not just the food. Like we want people to like come in like, oh, you only want a coffee, but you want to take up a whole booth? Well, what business owner is really going to promote that, right? But like really, that's our heart. I don't care. Forget it. I'll sit there on the booth with you and chat with you. Like that's all you get is a coffee. All right. Someone said to me the other day, how are you going to get customers out the door a little quicker? Because you have some stand time on occasion. Not every day, but on occasion we have some standing time. And, well, we just offer the people at the door drinks. Like, if you want to stick around, and then if you drink your Diet Coke and you decide that it's time to go and you're not going to wait, I lost a Diet Coke. I didn't lose my reputation or our integrity. Like, I just lost a Diet Coke.
And we are so thankful with people like the last couple Saturdays, we have been really like
slam.
And people wait like 15, 20 minutes and they're like,
and we're not trying to deter people from trying us, but like, please consider we do carry out. Like, we really do. But I also know like we're brunchy people too. Like that's one thing we love about vacation is trying to find a good place for brunch.
Right.
I do want to mention one of the coolest things we've had. I don't know that Lebanon knows this, but like we've had probably 10 states come through in a month. And I would say maybe even more, but I'm talking like South Dakota, Texas, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Wisconsin.
Michigan.
Just passing through?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I got a text the other day that said, add Nebraska to your list. Here's what's wild to me. We don't have a single billboard on the interstate. They're literally driving off of 65. Maybe not. Maybe they're on the highway. But more than likely, they're driving off of 65 to come to us. Like, it's probably due to some reviews, but also, like, it's a lost art, the diner, the American diner. And wouldn't it be just so sad if we were the ones to, like, just kill it? You know what I mean? By coming in, of all things, with another culture's food. Like, there's room at the table for both cultures. Yeah. There totally is. And I'm so excited that, like, the table of 7 that came from Minnesota, they were sure 2 of the 7 came back and wrote reviews later. Like, they cared about us, too. Like, how does that happen? Well, it happens because of the environment you bring to people.
Yeah. And it's a fantastic environment. Guys, I can't wait to see what the next chapter holds. And the best way to see specials and things, you said you get them out on the regular. The Facebook page, you guys are populating that thing like crazy?
Facebook, I know that I need to grow on Google a little bit more so that you can see more pictures. I would like to get some of our bigger entities in the community involved. For example, this building here, I told you it would be wonderful to have like a behind the scenes secret menu for different, like, or even Harney, like, hey Harney, I'm putting you up a secret menu today. Like, what would you like? Would you guys like to do some carry out? I think just come and get connected, and then you can figure out how to keep up with us, because we're still figuring it out. But for now, Facebook. Food truck is always going to be on Facebook. We're at the Boone County Cards and Collectibles Show next Saturday, right? That's next Saturday the 9th at the fairgrounds. We unfortunately aren't doing Battle of the Barbecue, but we have been incorporated. Like, we're helping IGA with one of their baskets. As long as you stay connected to the community, you'll come across us. Like, that's all I can really say now. And Facebook, which I know isn't everyone's cup of tea, but that's just getting out to the masses for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to give thanks to Dan and
Dan Creech.
Yeah.
Who had the restaurant before
the
us.
restaurant before, and John for give us the opportunity to keep the restaurant open.
Oh, for real. Like, and then Dan came in like for a hot minute. He came in every single day. He still comes in regularly, but he came in every day and just made sure we were good. And one day he hopped on the grill for us for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And it was a funny save, but it was,
Yeah.
it was just the coolest thing. And then, John and the Cowans, and you've got all these people that work over at the pharmacy, and they come over, and they're our regulars. Like, they don't have to eat in the same building. They could order off the square somewhere, and they do sometimes. And I joked, like the other day, I told Ethan, I thought about stealing your breadsticks from Greeks. Like, we are very thankful for them. And I like that you pointed that out, because it is important. We don't quite know how we were chosen. We just feel favored. We didn't know Dan that well, and we didn't know John at all. And Dan, I think, was a bit sad that he was walking away from it, but at the same time was ready. He's still cooking over at the Elks. Like, he's still cooking up things good. But he and John had a conversation, and I think we were the recommendation. We didn't really know Dan that well, but he's become like family, just like John. And even I should mention Luann. She passed oddly the very morning we started working in there, but we had her blessing as well. And between John and Luann and Dan, we're here.
Yeah.
And as long as we keep one foot in front of the other, and I think admit our faults along the way, because no one's perfect, and that's food service and it's busy, I think we'll just continue to show you guys what we're capable of. And I'll try to stay off the grill. Because I'm not I can cook, but I'm not the cook. It's T and Wilson, and they both bring a different flavor to the kitchen. And Wilson's is very cautious and full of flavor and detail-oriented, and T is very cautious, but she can whip it together. I mean, she can really throw down, and you're like, whoa, the speed that woman has, and that's all she does, literally what she does all day long. And if she she steps away to get a bite to eat. But her joke is, as soon as she gets a bite to eat, somebody comes in by the droves.
Yeah.
Get you out the door with the last question on the Cubbard menu. Going to put you on the spot a little bit. What's your go-to or your favorite dish? You're not saying the one to make, but the one to eat. You've got one menu item. You've got time to eat it. What are you picking? Wilson, you got your idea?
Yes, I do have one, the tenderloin.
Okay.
And my second one is the haystack.
The haystack, okay.
Yeah, the haystack is the one that comes with hash brown casserole, 2 scrambled eggs, sausage gravy, bacon, and cheddar cheese, and a biscuit.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, man. That's a good call.
Mine every time is the BLT. Funny, I'm not a bacon person. I'm more of a sausage person. And the day we ate together, I got sausage. The BLT is a thick cut bacon, and we are getting it from IGA. And I literally had a customer say to me, I knew as soon as I bit into it, it was IGA's bacon. It was so good. I like that on rye. And I think that for me, I just do half the bacon, but I could totally do all 6 pieces.
Yeah.
If I were telling a customer to come in and try something, I would say our best sellers are haystacks and French toast. And we do breakfast all day long, except for pancakes and waffles. Oh, the big chuck is like you get your tenderloin and your sausage gravy in one.
Yeah, the gentleman who did the laser engraving got that. And everyone, their whole, like, they were watching it like a, like a sprinkler as he was. Yeah.
I will say we have to shout out. There is one breakfast menu item that's from Honduras. It's the traditional Honduran breakfast. It's called the Lucinda. And Lucinda is named after the farm where Wilson's grandpa raised the family, essentially. I mean, they were on the outskirts, but the farm export coconuts to the United States, and that's very much part of our heritage, very much part of hard work and where Wilson comes from and what his family has been through and endured and succeeded in. And it was in its day, it was in the prime. Like, it was a place where Wilson didn't always love to visit because there were snakes. His brother was more of the, hey, let's go out to the farm. But we all know in the family, like, if it wasn't for Grandpa working that farm, life could look very different. But that traditional breakfast has 2 eggs, free-fried beans, queso fresco, cream, avocado, and plantains. And if you're lucky, and it's a good day, we might surprise
chorizo.
you with, chorizo. We might surprise you with a flour tortilla or 2, but we haven't done that at the restaurant yet.
Yeah.
Hondurans eat flour tortillas. They're not much corn tortilla.
Gotcha.
But my hands get too hot and I can't make them.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for being here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. And
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely.
love hearing the story, and I can't wait to see what the next chapter holds.
You frighten me when you ask that or say that because I don't either.
We got a whole book of ideas. I mean, you never know, right?
Oh,
You
gosh.
never know.
One step at a time. I think that's it. It's just wild to be here.
Well, glad that this community that Wilson was working in kind of stuck out to him many years back,
Yes.
and glad you're part of our community as well.
Thank you. We call Lebanon home, and we have a friend that would like to steal us over to Turkey Run area, and has
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
joked
Sorry.
that she would even open a restaurant and let us live in her basement until and da da da. And
Nah.
it's like, listen. I told her, I sent her a message. I said, I think we're really getting concreted in here. The restaurant's becoming official. And she's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you guys. And thank you for listening to this episode of the Love and Lebanon podcast. More episodes coming your way soon. Take care.
Thank you.